end of the video, I would just talk about a few Christmassy holiday movies that I've been watching this year. So the first movie I wanted to talk about is a Norwegian film called Three Wishes for Cinderella. And it's kind of a spin off of the traditional Cinderella story, more of a Scandinavian, like really cold, snowy environment. There's lots of furs being worn and more things of that nature. It's actually considered to be a holiday classic in some European countries and is broadcast around Christmas time every year in countries like the Czech Republic, Slovakia, Germany, and Norway. So I thought that was really interesting. So I guess I wasn't so far off in liking this as a holiday film. The second film I love as a Christmas movie is Little Women. I do feel like the Christmas scenes in the 1994 version in particular are just so good. They just capture that Civil War era America Christmassy feeling. And kind of in that same vein, I really like the 1996 Emma with Gwyneth Paltrow. That also is very similar to Little Women in the sense that it shows kind of like all different seasons throughout the year. And although that newer version of Emma with Anya Taylor-Joy from just a few years back is like wonderful and one of the most accurate portrayals of Regency costume on film, that 90s version with Gwyneth Paltrow, those Christmas scenes that they show are just so Christmassy. It's like seeing Regency era Christmas, and I really love it for that reason. The next thing I watch every year, usually a couple days before Christmas, I like to watch a version of the Nutcracker, and there's so many versions of the Nutcracker. The one that I go back to every year is the New York City Ballet George Balanchine version. They did a recording of it in 2015, and that's the one I end up really always liking. It's kind of a little more straightforward, if that makes sense. They're not trying to do anything crazy with it, which I like. I just want to see like the standard Nutcracker ballet sometimes, you know? The next movie I'd like to mention is a movie that is just from a couple of years ago. It's called The Holdovers, only a few years old, and it's already like such an instant holiday classic. Paul Giamatti's character is a professor of antiquities. The holdovers are kids who don't have anywhere to go for Christmas, so they end up holding over or staying over at the school. So they need teachers and a couple of staff members to be there, like chaperoning and looking after the students. And Paul Giamatti gets his name picked out for that. And he's a very grouchy kind of character, but very endearing. And a story about his character and the young teenage boy who's one of the holdovers and one of the women who works in the kitchen there. And it's just like such a wonderful movie. I could not recommend it enough. I feel like kind of movie pretty much anyone would like and get something out of. The Holdovers, I cannot recommend it enough. And last but not least is my favorite Christmas movie, my absolute favorite, which is the Muppet Christmas Carol from 1992. Like, what do I even say about this movie? It has no business being that good of a movie. Like, it has no business. And I love the Christmas Carol story just in general. I love it so much, but like there's no other version that I care to watch. It's your typical Muppet movie where it's human characters and Muppet characters interacting, but they all have just the most impeccable period costumes. It takes place in the 1840s. It's like, you know, obviously that Dickensian Christmas to Michael Caine, who plays Scrooge, and he's like dead seriously playing this character, and that's I think part of the reason why the movie works so well is because he is fully committed and he does not care like what puppet he's interacting with. He's speaking to them as if they were human characters. This is all real to him, and it totally sells the movie 100%. But all of those characters are just dressed in the most beautiful 1840s costumes, Christmassy, wintry costumes that you would just ever want to see. It's just got the handcrafted sets, costumes, props, etc., like in spades, and so little of it had any computerized anything. Maybe like a little bit they were starting to do at that time. I'm sure 99% of it was built and something that they actually shot, and it's just so lovely. It's just so nostalgic now to see that sort of thing, and I just appreciate it so much. I feel that a lot of people do. It's my ultimate favorite Christmas movie, and obviously I couldn't recommend it enough, and it's good for kids or whoever, and it's just the best.